Hello everybody, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments, and today I'm doing my very first design breakdown video. So in these videos, I'm going to be showing just one layout. It could just be a single layout or a two-page spread, and I'm going to explain why this works and why these layouts look good, what's going on, what's working for them. So that way you can get the most out of your Mosaic Moments pages. So after this video, if you enjoyed it and if you thought it was helpful, let me know in the comments below if you would like to see more design breakdown videos. That would be really helpful for me. So today I have a two-page spread. This is an X Factor layout. It is one that is exclusive to our X Factor book, so go check that out. So this is not one I will usually post anywhere else outside of this video and the book. So obviously you can see it's a two-page spread, and I want to go over what is working. So we're going to talk about balance and color and all these other things. So first thing I want to mention is, because it's a two-page spread, the goal for a two-page spread is to create harmony between the two layouts. So we don't want the layout to be exactly the same. There is some rare cases where you can kind of get away with that to some extent, but what we don't want is one focal point and then have it be the same over here, because then what you have is a competition between the two sides. So one of your sides needs to kind of be your main focal layout. So on this side, I have this single photo here with the 4x4 diamond die, or it's actually the 4x4 diamond X Factor die. And as you see over here, I repeated it, but it's not in the center. It's repeated 4 times. And so you don't have that same exact focal point again. I would say this one doesn't really have much of a focal point. So a two-page spread, let's keep one of them your focal point and make sure the second page looks different. But the way you create harmony is by repeating some of the same elements. So what's repeating between these two? We have the same color grid paper, which normally is going to be the case. There could be some exceptions to that. We're using the same die series. We're even using at least one of the same die cuts from over here. Again, you don't necessarily have to repeat all the same dies, but we are going to repeat them again. Preferably, you would use the same die collection or die series on both layouts. So hopefully you caught all that. To create harmony, we do not want both layouts to look exactly the same, but we do want to repeat the same elements. We want to repeat the same colors. We want to repeat one or more of the dies. And if there's a die collection or die series being used, we want to repeat at least one of the dies as well. So when I made this layout, I made this side first. So on both of these layouts, the same pattern paper is also being used again. And the colors work on both of these because this is an analogous color scheme. If you're not familiar with that, if you took the color wheel, analogous colors are colors sitting right next to each other. So in this case, it would be green. There's not really a very strong blue, but there's kind of a blue-green and a green, and I would say maybe a slight yellow. So we have a cooler color scheme here with a little bit of warmth from the yellow. So as you can see here, we got teals here, so it's kind of a green, it's a bluish green, and then the paper has a little bit of that bluish green again, green, there's a tiny bit, it's kind of a yellow green, it's nothing really strongly yellow, but it's kind of a yellowish kind of green. There also is some creams in here, so no matter what kind of color scheme you are using, it's important to have some neutrals such as white. This is actually not white. It may look white, but it's actually a very light gray. It's barely gray. And I have some creams here. And you also may have noticed that the X Factor die cuts were cut out with a dark brown. So another thing you want for your scrapbook page is contrast. And when using something like X Factor dies, a very contrasting color is going to work very well because what you want is to see those lines. But the lines also have to contrast the photos and paper you use. So in this case, I chose a dark brown, partially because it's a nice neutral with these greens. And it was very dark, so you can see it over the paper really well. And plus it doesn't get hidden even with the photos and pattern paper. Another thing we want to pay attention to is the overall theme. So the photos on this layout are of a hike. We were up in the mountains. This is specifically Shenandoah National Park. It's written right here. So what I probably wouldn't do for these type of photos is create a beach theme. I maybe wouldn't go, maybe I might use brights in some cases because that can be fun. But I'm going to avoid colors or pattern paper themes. Like, I'm not going to put a beach umbrella paper on this unless there's some story that goes with your hike and a beach umbrella, which is always possible, of course. I'm not going to use a holiday paper necessarily unless maybe I hiked on a holiday. So I kept the theme outdoorsy. This paper is from kind of an outdoor nature pack. And so that's what I placed on the layout. I love this pattern paper. It's from Stamperia. It's a great brand, and they have a couple of paper packs that are great for outdoor pages. So that's what I went with. I wanted an outdoor, look to it. And so you can tell, if you looked at the colors in the pattern paper and I just took out the photographs, you would be able to tell by that alone that this page has to do with nature at the very least. You may not assume it's a hike, but we want to make sure that the colors and pattern paper we choose are also fitting with the theme, because that's going to make more sense to our brain than if I chose something completely different. All right, I think I'll end it there. There's probably a lot more I could go over, but let me know in the comments below if this video was helpful for you, if you would like to see more of these design breakdown videos, and also let me know if there's anything you notice about the layout that catches your eye. What's the first thing you notice? What are some things that you enjoy that look appealing to you? It could be as simple as you like the colors, you like the X Factor dies and the way they were placed on the layout, you like how balanced it looks. Let me know what appeals to you. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.